I'm Shay Russell for mining.com.au, and joining me today is Bruce Lane, the CEO for GTI Energy. Bruce, it's fabulous to have you back on. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, Shay. It's good to see you again.
Certainly is. Now, you have in past conversations talked about whispers that Trump was going to assign an executive order in relation to nuclear. And the talk of the media this week, or at least in resource markets, is what Trump said over the weekend in order to fast track nuclear plans. Bruce, could you elaborate on what this is?
Yeah, Shay, we've been waiting to get something really definitive out of the White House in support of the nuclear industry. And what we got on Friday was a series of executive orders aimed at unlocking the blocks that have been in place to developing new nuclear power plants. And we got it in spades in the form of 3 executive orders. And that followed closely on the heels of the executive orders around accelerating minerals production for critical minerals, including uranium. So we've now got the full package of support out of the White House to say it's all on for nuclear.
Now, the junior sector, when it comes to uranium stocks, has been a little bit depressed lately, but with the spot price rising, do you think that this is going to lead to positive sentiment in the junior uranium sector?
Yeah, I do. And I think we've seen that already. We saw a little bit of it come through on Friday, and we've seen that follow through today. Now, it's a Memorial Day holiday in the US on Monday today, so the market is closed tonight in the US. But what we've seen is the ASX stocks perform really positively this morning. And we're just expecting that to continue. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the big short positions that are there, whether there's any change there.
I'm so glad you mentioned the short positions because Boss Energy is one of the most shorted stocks on the ASX, yet they're the ones most likely to benefit from a thriving uranium sector. When do companies start closing out these short positions?
Oh, that's a great question. It looks as though they could get a bit of a squeeze. I think Boss is the most shorted on the ASX at over 20% of the stock out. So those guys are going to have to cover those positions somehow, and it's going to get challenging, and especially if you take into account that the inflows to the largest uranium ETF, URA, on Friday were at record levels. And so the inflows to the ETF then that result in mandatory buying of the index stocks, of which Boss is one, Deep Yellow's one, and Paladin's one. So if you've got the shorts out there chasing cover at the same time as the ETFs are out there conducting mandatory buying because they've had massive inflows, then things could get pretty interesting. So that's something for everyone to watch. I think it's quite unique in the uranium sector at the moment, or in all sectors, to be fair. So that could have a very dramatic effect on some of those share prices going forward. I'm not forecasting that. I'm just noting that it's a really interesting one to watch, and we'd like to see, obviously, that act in the market's favour and our favour. So we'll see what happens.
Listen, Bruce, I certainly will be watching what's happening in the uranium sector with a very keen eye. Thank you so much for being here today. I look forward to future updates.
Yeah, thanks, Shay. Thanks for having me, and we'll talk again soon.